Hey guys, how's it going? Statman coming right back at you, and today I'm going to be talking to you about some Blu-rays that I got during an Arrow video sale. I'm pretty sure I haven't mentioned these yet, but with having taken 3 weeks, a month off or something like that, I cannot remember if I did or did not do a video about these yet. I don't think I did. I'm 90% sure I didn't, so let's go ahead and talk about these, shall we? There are only 3 to talk about. I only got 3 this time around, but during the Arrow sale, you always want to take advantage of that whenever you can. And this time around, it was mostly, well, 2 of them, I should say, were titles that I just wanted to have in the best possible quality. One of them I already have, I believe, in another format, another form. But the other one I didn't have yet, and it's a classic that I wanted to have, and then another one was just me taking a chance on stuff. So, let's get to it here. The first one I picked up was Carrie, which is the one I actually have in another form. I believe I have the original release of this on Blu-ray, so the not fancy schmancy version, not the Scream Factory version, just the regular old version. And really, when it comes right down to it, the way I look at it now is that Arrow Video is very much, in many ways, a very similar service to Scream Factory or Shout Factory. Now, Scream Factory and Shout Factory being an American company, it's a lot easier to be like, okay, I'm going to go with Scream Factory or Shout Factory because it's so much easier to get their special editions, right? But lately, stories have been surfacing about Scream Factory, Shout Factory being kind of crappy to the people who are trying to sell their products. So it's been it's very disturbing, the kind of business practices that they've been taking part in. And really, as somebody who likes to save money on these kind of things, I mean, obviously, if I feel like a specialty label should be able to earn a bit more for having put more effort into their products. But at the same time, if you're getting to the point like Shout Factory is, where you're becoming completely unwilling to do anything that even resembles a sale, where your example of a sale is even more expensive than frickin' Criterion, then you're going too far. You have gone way too far at that point. And you're hurting the businesses that are trying to help you to get your product out there, and it's just terrible. It's really terrible what they're doing. So because of that, it's like, yes, there is a Shout Factory, a Scream Factory version of this movie out there. I don't want to support them right now. They are not behaving in a manner as a company that I would like to support. I do not feel like the behavior of Scream Factory and Shout Factory is one that I need to be supporting right now. So I have taken it upon myself to just say, you know what? No. No thank you to Scream Factory. No thank you to Shout Factory. If and whenever I do buy any of their products, they will always be used. I will not be directly giving them any money until they shape up. That is how I feel about them right now. That's why I decided to go with the Arrow Video release of Carrie instead of their release, because you know what? It's a 4K restoration just like their release, and it's got a whole bunch of special features on here just like their release does. It had the reversible cover here just like their release does, and it cost a fraction of the price to import it from another country through their sale because it was such a good price. I mean, it came with like $10, $11, something like that, I think. And because it's got all these great special features, just like the Shout Factory, Scream Factory release has, I said, you know what, I'm going to go with the Arrow Video release of Carrie this time around to support a company that I think deserves more love and deserves more support because they know how to treat their customers and they know how to treat the people who are trying to promote and sell their products. So, yes, very cool stuff here. Very glad to have what I consider to be one of the better horror movies from its era in high definition and a new 4K transfer. That was the big thing for me, really, because the transfer that I have on the Blu-ray that I have is obviously not 4K. So, I mean, obviously, regardless of it, if it was 4K, it's a Blu-ray, so you're not going to get 4K out of it. And so is this one. It's a Blu-ray, not a 4K UHD disc, but it's still going to look a little bit nicer on this copy than it is on the one I have. So I figured that was worth upgrading here, especially since it didn't cost that much to do so. Next up, I decided to pick up The Hills Have Eyes, a classic, an undeniable classic, some might say. I have the remake of this, but I did not have the original, and I was waiting to get the original in like a special format from a specialty label, and I believe this is one of, if not the best specialty label release of the film out there. I could be mistaken about that. There might be some people who disagree with me on that, but it's definitely a good one to have. And, with it being on sale, the price was definitely right. So I decided to go ahead and get this one as well. It also has a new 4K transfer and a whole bunch of special features, just like all the Arrow releases. And the reversible cover that has the original artwork is always very nice. So I can't complain at all. Very cool stuff. It was tough to decide whether or not to do the original artwork because the new artwork for this one in particular, is pretty damn cool. I think it's pretty cool. So I might actually change that back at some point. But for now, I'm sticking with the original. And really, this is one of those horror movies that it's like, if you haven't seen it yet, why haven't you seen it yet? And it needs no introduction. It needs no explanation from me. Where'd you get that movie? Well, it's The Hills Have Eyes. That's my explanation. Last but not least here, I decided to get David Cronenberg's early works. Because I'm familiar with some of David Cronenberg's work, but not all of it. I'm familiar with his most famous work, My favorite, of course, being The Fly. I felt like that was a really good movie. But that's just one of his movies, and it's just like one example of the kind of work that he does. But that one example it should be more than enough if you've seen it. It should be more than enough to tell you the kind of stuff that he does. So, because he does a lot of visceral stuff, because he does a lot of, like, disturbing stuff it's intended to, like, get at you and make you feel... Because of that, when I saw this on sale, I was like, oh, I didn't even know this existed. This has Transfer from the Drain, Stereo, and Crimes of the Future. So a few different things from David Cronenberg here that I've never seen or even heard of before. But if it's David Cronenberg, then, I'd love to check it out. And it wasn't too much to pay, you know what I mean? It wasn't a whole lot of money. It was a pretty good deal. So I decided to just say, sure, why the hell not, and go for it. We'll see if I made the right decision or not when I actually get around to watching it. But, I would say this is a pretty good deal. And all I can say really is these short films, I'm just intrigued to see where it all began with Cronenberg. You know what I mean? Because I want to see if he was always doing visceral stuff, if it's just always been a thing for him. Sometimes the earliest work from a creator can be the most revealing in terms of the kind of stuff that they wanted to do, the kind of points that they were trying to get across. So, definitely wanted to check this out. Apparently it's available in other forms, but Like you have to get it in like a collection or something like that. So it's nice to know that you can just get this particular copy here, this particular Blu-ray, and have them in high definition from Arrow Video as well. So that's pretty cool. But anyways, that is the last thing that I picked up from Arrow Video. Just 3 things this time, but I guess because this has 4 things on it, it's like six things total. So yeah, not a bad haul from Arrow Video, if I do say so myself. I think that was a pretty good pickup. I mean, all things told, I ended up paying in US dollars something like $35 or something like that shipped. So it's not too much to pay. You know what I mean? It's not too much to pay. Not at all. So pretty good stuff. And that will do it for me today. Thanks for watching, guys. Catch you later. Peace.